friends, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today we're going to talk about 4 things that you need to be asking yourself, yourself, before you get into a committed relationship. These 4 things that I've listed isn't necessarily saying that you have to do it, but if you want the best out of a relationship, or you want the best chances of keeping and obtaining a healthy relationship, I think these are 4 great questions to ask yourself, ask your higher power, and just kind of meditate on it. My 4 questions are not in any order, but just gives you something to think about. So let's go ahead and get started. My first question that you should be asking yourself is, do I know who I am? Now, sometimes we think we know who we are because we have an idea of the things that we want, or I don't know, maybe something that we feel like we do well at, but we don't necessarily know who we are at the core, not just who we are on the surface. What do you want out of life? What are your goals? What do you see yourself 5, 10, 20 years from now? What are you hopeful for? What is your beliefs? What are you willing to tolerate from somebody else to be in a relationship? What are you willing to tolerate? What type of relationship are you looking for? Are you looking for just a commitment? Are you looking for an open relationship? Are you looking for a situationship? Are you looking for marriage? What do you want? Not what the world wants, not what people are trying to tell you that you want. What do you want? Because that's very important before you go seeking a partner, or even talking to somebody and dating and trying to make a decision to be with somebody. You need to know what it is you want and what you're hoping to get out of being in a committed relationship with that person. You need to know if their goals align with what you want, and you need to know if their life aligns with what you want. That'll set you up for a higher chance of having a healthy, happy relationship. Number 2 question you should be asking yourself: why do you want the relationship? I think a lot of times, me included, I've done this in the past. I would just get into relationships and just be a habitual relationship hopper. I guess not more so like I'm in relationship for just a couple months. Like, my relationships was always years. But as soon as I got out of a relationship, because I was so used to that comfort of having somebody and being able to share my life with somebody in some type of way, as soon as that relationship was over, I was looking for my next one, just for that comfort and just to run away from myself, to be honest, because I thought that people knew what I wanted and what I needed more than what I needed and what I wanted. So, that's something I've learned over my season of singleness so far, is that I was just trying to run to get into relationships, or just getting with whoever wanted me. I never took the time. Like, I was putting myself on clearance. I never made anybody date me. It was like the first person who told me that they liked me and they wanted to be with me, I was getting with them, because I didn't want to be alone. And it's been such a blessing that I outgrew that. Like, I have my times where it's like, oh, I can just call up one of the people I have dated and just be like, okay, well, let's give it a try. Let's get in a relationship. But I'm constantly reminded, because God is so good to me. Again, for my belief, He's so good to me. He keeps reminding me. He keeps reminding me that I have a goal in life, and I have a greater calling on my life than to just settle and just take stuff from people and get unaligned with the path that I'm aligned on at this current time. So that's something you should be asking yourself, and be honest with yourself. You don't have to tell anybody what it is that you're feeling, or your thoughts, what you come up with when it comes to why you think you want to be in this relationship, but you definitely should be honest with yourself. So why do you want this relationship? Is it because you don't want to be alone? Is it because you want to have sex? Is it because you are tired of paying all your bills on your own? Is it because your friends have relationships and you don't? Is it because you just feel like or being in a relationship is what's going to give you purpose in life. What is your reason? Honestly, what I've learned during this season of singleness, and really learning about relationships, I've learned that relationships are the purpose of a relationship is to bring you closer to your goals in life. For me, is to help bring me closer to God. You know, I want somebody who's on that same path with me, who's willing to make that same walk with me in building a close relationship with God and working towards that. But it can, for non-believers or people who do believe but they believe something differently, it could be somebody who just has the same things, the same goals in life as them. They, you know, maybe people want to get married because they want to have kids and they want to marry somebody who wants to have kids, you know, things like that. But you need to figure out why you want to be in a relationship. It's so important, because if you are like, I'm just bored, I'm tired of being alone, all my friends have relationships and I don't, you're going to settle for something that in the end is going to be way worse and cause more pain than if you just waited until you were sincerely ready to find that person who you feel and who, if you believe, your higher power has sent to you to complete you, to help you to make it to, well, not necessarily complete you, let me take that back, to join with you and help you reach the goals that are for you. So that's just something I think is very important. You should know, because let's say you just get in a relationship because you're bored. 9 chances out of 10, you're going to end up hurting yourself and that person, because then you're going to figure out later on, like, okay, let's say you get bored while you're in a relationship, then you'll be like, okay, I'm tired of this relationship, so let's break up. And then you're hurting that person when you wasn't even serious from the beginning. So really think about it before making that step or making that decision. My third question that I think that is very important, this is for my believers. Have you sought God? Have you talked to God in the midst of your thoughts, in the midst of you thinking or considering being with this person or seeking a relationship in general? God knows way more than we know. Your higher power, whatever you believe, but your higher power for me is God. God knows so much more. He can see so much more than I can see. So if I'm just like out here just going with what I'm hearing and what I can see from a human standpoint, from somebody who's not educated enough to know, like I don't know, I can't read somebody. I can, you know, people, we all walk in disguise every day. You know, we can switch up our moves in a heartbeat. We can change, we can conform and mold to being something different at any time. So I don't know what's in your heart. I can't see your heart. I don't have that talent. I don't think any of us really have that talent. So I prefer to be safe. And so I go to God. And when I'm dating anybody, even if I'm just talking to a person over the phone, before I go any further with going on a date with that person, I want to know, God, give me signs or let me know if this is a person that I should continue to allow to pursue me. Should I feed into this? Should I continue? Should I, you know, is it going to be anything? And so far, the answers have been no, but I'm grateful, because later on I find out why. But just, you honestly do, you should be, if you believe, you know, you should be asking God for help and guidance before you make those type of decisions. Because let's say you are trying to get married and you get into a relationship and you're going based off of what you understand and what you see of this person, and that person's not a good person, and here you are off marrying them, and marriage is supposed to be forever, and then you married the wrong person. And if you would have waited a little bit longer, God had your person right around the corner, but you married the wrong person, you know? So I just think that you should honestly be seeking your higher power. If you believe in God, if you believe in Jesus, pray. Don't be afraid. I don't care how beautiful they are, how nice they are, how handsome they are, how much money they make. I don't care about none of that. I care about you making my life better, you adding happiness to my life, I'd rather have that than, because looks fade, money can be gone in a day, you can lose your job tomorrow. So I'd rather just wait on what God tells me to do, versus just going out there on my own free will and choosing somebody, because it hasn't worked for me so far. So I'm just trying something different. I'd rather wait, avoid that heartache and that pain and giving years of my life to somebody and then it doesn't work out. Like, I'd much rather wait, enjoy my season of singleness, enjoy getting to know me, enjoy building my relationship with God and with Jesus, and just wait. That's just important to me. For you, if you are dating somebody, I feel like you should honestly take that time and really, really sit with whoever your higher power is, really meditate and really try to listen. And if the answer is no, let it be a no. Because just because that person's fine, that doesn't mean anything. God still got somebody who's going to be just as fine, if not finer for you. Somebody who makes good money, who, you just never know what's around the corner. You never know a person's heart. So just pray about it, or talk to your higher power, or whatever you believe in, do it. And then my fourth question that I feel like you should be asking is, have I done everything that I feel I want to do while I am single? In some aspects, there are things we would like to do with other people, like go to the movies or go out to eat or go shopping or have somebody split your bills with you and all that stuff. But on the other hand, you could still do those things alone. And, maybe I'm a strong believer you shouldn't wait on anybody to start doing the things that your heart desires. So if you want to travel, if you're single right now, go travel. Go do those things. You don't know. You could meet your person out of state somewhere, but I still say go travel, because let's say you get with somebody, you get into this relationship, things are great, you guys feel like best friends and like things are going in the right direction, but then you find out that person doesn't like to travel, or maybe they're afraid to fly and you like to fly. You don't like to drive in a car, or maybe they have a different outlook, like we shouldn't be spending money on traveling. We need to save this money and pay bills or buy nice houses or whatever. And then you're sitting there stuck like, I always wanted to travel, but now I can't because I'm with somebody who doesn't agree, who's not on that same wavelength as you are. Or let's say you want to buy a nice car for yourself while you're single, but you get into a relationship with somebody and that person talks you out of buying that car because you can use that money, on maybe saving it and putting it in the bank, or use that money to get a house instead, or just use that money for a nice wedding. Relationships require a lot of compromise. And so while you're single, it's not a curse. You're blessed at every stage of your life. If you're single, you're blessed in some kind of ways. You're blessed because you're able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and you don't have to answer to anybody. If I want to go to my friend's house, I can get up right now and go to my friend's house, and I don't have to worry about my partner being upset that I'm gone at my friend's house every day, or feeling insecure, thinking that maybe something's going on with me and my friend. Like, there's things that are great on the single end that you don't really get that type of freedom when you're in a relationship with somebody. So fast forward to when you're in a relationship with somebody, there's things that's great. You get to take the cute selfies and travel with somebody, and you don't have to do anything alone anymore. You have somebody, you can look into marriage and all that kind of stuff if that's what you want. It's great, but you have to make those constant, frequent compromises, because these are two different people coming together. So what I may want, my partner may not want, and we're going to have to find a way to come to an even ground, as long as it's not taken away from your morals and your values. Now, if it's just simple things like I want to eat out once a week and my partner says that they don't want to eat out at all, I have to make some compromises there, things like simple things like that, but not like I believe in God and you say that you don't want to believe in any of that stuff. You shouldn't be together. But as long as it's not compromising on big things that are really important to you, that's your values, you just know you're going to have to compromise. Everything's not going to be perfect. What you want doesn't necessarily mean that that's what your partner wants just because you got a partner. And then the same for marriage. You're blessed in marriage, but there's a lot of compromise. So think about that stuff before you jump into a relationship. And, you know, if you feel like, you know, you checked off all the boxes and everything's yes, and you feel confident and you feel like you're making the best decision for your life, then congratulations. Get into your relationship. I pray and I hope that everything works out well for you. But if not, you know, again, congratulations, because at least you were honest and real with yourself, and you're not wasting anybody's time. You're not wasting your time, and you're not hurting anybody down the road. So I really hope that this video helps somebody. If you want to add to it, please feel free to drop it in the comment box below. If you have questions, concerns, you agree, you don't agree, let me know. We'll talk about it. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.